Welcome back to That's Tuff podcast.
And this something special we're doing today here, man. We got a nice little experiment that we like to try today. Today we're going to do an NFL mock draft
2024,
man. Best prospects coming into this year's draft, man. These are all chosen prospects that we think are going to go for each 32 teams in the first round. And we only going to do first round because doing all 7 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, first round, 32 picks. We're going to give y'all analyzation of these picks, man.
But before we get into them picks, man, just got to let y'all know that
it's sponsored by Sleeper,
man.
Use promo code Jermaine Sports on Sleeper for lifetime Discord access, premium plays, data, daily. Don't miss out. Let's get right with this list, man. The mock draft. A deep draft this year, fellas. A real deep draft. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, corners, linemen, a whole bunch of talent in this first round. I can't miss first round. If teams missing their first round pick, it's just bad on the GM, man. It's just a bad job on your GM at the end of the day if you don't get the player you want. At number 1, I'm going with Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears, man, with the number 1 pick. One of the best modern day quarterbacks we've seen in college. 70-10 touchdown interception ratio in his last 2 seasons. Incredible, bro. Different. Arguably, the best prospect in the draft is Marvin Harrison, but the Bears need a quarterback. I do see them trading Justin Fields for some draft capital, maybe another good player, and I see them taking Caleb here because it's a can't-miss spot to take the best quarterback we've seen in college. It's arguably Joe Burrow.
Yeah, man. As we collectively brought and put together this mock draft, us two together, man, we both said that we got Caleb Williams going at the number 1 spot. This man is a former Heisman Trophy winner. This man does it all, bro. He has Patrick Mahomes type abilities. You've seen it in college. The man is literally Iron Man. Like, there's no other way else to put it. Justin Fields, man, you've had crazy progress this last part, but it doesn't mean that it gives you much hope for you to bid another season under the belt, under the Bears organization. Maybe if you would have made a Pro Bowl this season, maybe that would be into a factor into that, but hasn't really shown much promise under that rookie contract, and I think they're going to ship him out somewhere else.
100%, man. At 2, you got Drake May from North Carolina going to the Washington Commanders with the 2nd overall pick, bro. Drake May, a guy that was real hyped up in the 2022 season. He was the best sophomore in the country, but coming off this year, he had a little more of a down year, but he's still arguably the best thrower of the football in this draft, bro. A huge arm, 6'4", NFL-ready kid, bro. You know, redshirt sophomore here. He's in a spot to be the next great quarterback in the Commanders, man. A draft where it's like they got to pick their guy. Sam Howell threw too many picks last year. I think they're going to move on from Sam Howell. And Drake May, we just know. And it's crazy because Sam Howell played for North Carolina too. So they're picking another North Carolina quarterback. But I think Drake May is the more polished quarterback. I think he's going to have a good NFL career, a better NFL career than he had in college. And I think he'll go into a decent situation in the Commanders to be the best player they've had in a while.
Definitely, bro. When you talk about solid quarterbacks when it comes to this draft, Drake May is one of those dudes, bro. Nice pocket man, bro. Scrambles when he needs to, improviser at all times, man. And he showed you why he's been All-American in college football. This man has thrown the ball, make the correct decisions. And is overall, like I've just said before, the most solid quarterback besides being Caleb Williams in this draft class.
62-16 touchdown to interception ratio in his last 2 years, bro. This kid is different, man. He's different. He's ready. He's ready to be the 2nd best quarterback in this draft, and I think he does go 2nd here. At number 3, man, we got Mr. Heisman winner, Mr. LSU superstar, going number 3 overall to the New England Patriots, man. Jaden Daniels has a chance to be the next great quarterback in New England, man. And I think this draft has 3 great quarterbacks, and that's why I got them going 1, 2, 3 in that particular order. Now, I think Caleb Williams is on a tier above May and Daniels, and I think May and Daniels could arguably be swapped out with these 2 picks, and then might just go that way. But we're gonna go with the sharp prediction of May 2, and Daniels 3. And what more can we say about Jaden Daniels, bro? The Heisman winner of the 2023 season, led LSU to a decent record in the SEC, man. He 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, the best QBR in the nation. What more can we say about this kid? 6'4", 210. Could make any throw on the field, bro. The Pats got one. This draft, bro, got some special quarterbacks. And I think it's 1, 2, 3 with the best quarterbacks in the nation. Jaden Daniels gets his team and becomes a top 3 pick, going to New England, to go into a culture of winning and to continue it there, man.
Definitely, man. Like Ann said before, this dude is a Heisman Trophy winner for a reason. Broke massive school records, man, this past season in passing yards and passing touchdowns. And as we feel as though he's going to go to the Patriots, he's going to bring that new, fresh and winning culture back to New England. As they did their new clear house. They got Jared Mayo trying to bring more of like that black empowerment to that organization, and maybe Jaden Daniels can help contribute to something in that nature. But for a dude, a Heisman winner, to be sitting there at 3, you gotta go with it. There's nowhere else, especially with the toxic relationships that you've been dealing in your quarterback room this past season, and why y'all ended up with the 3rd pick in the first place. There's no other reason why you shouldn't be picking Jaden Daniels at the 3.
100%. I completely agree, man. That was the first 3. Number 4, I think this is the most sure 4th pick of all time, arguably. Marvin Harrison Jr., 6'4", 205. His father was a legend, but I think he's better than his father, man. He's better than his father coming out of college for sure, bro. This kid is arguably the number 1 player in this draft. Could literally go in the top 3.
This man was cooking people in Louis V cleats.
Marvin Harrison, bro. Going to the Cardinals at 4, bro. Cardinals are in a need of a receiver. They're not done with Kyler Murray yet. They're giving Kyler Murray another year, and as they should, because they paid the guy, man. And I think he's going to flourish with Kyler Murray in Arizona. Marvin Harrison goes 4 here. And the reason I see him going 4 is because the first 3 picks of the draft really need quarterbacks. They do not need a receiver. Well, they do need receivers too, but they mainly need a quarterback. And in the NFL first round, you go quarterback over receiver. Even over a receiver so legendary like Marvin Harrison Jr., a junior coming out of Ohio State monster, first-team All-American. What more can we say, man? A freak athlete is gonna be in contention to win Offensive Rookie of the Year as the number 1 guy in Arizona. I think he becomes the number 1 receiver in Arizona quickly and surely. He had a great junior season, 67 receptions, a lot of those on double coverage, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 18 yards a catch. What more can we say about Marv, man? I think he's going to be a killer in the league. I think he's one of the top 5 receivers of these last 4 to 5 drafts, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, you hit it right on the nail. I don't really have to say anything much, bro. Marvin Harrison, one of the most profound top prospects in NFL draft history right now. This man is trying to follow and probably overstep his father's legacy right now. Came in, like he said, monster season, especially with Ohio State not really having a solidified quarterback at the position, and still for him to still put up these freaking monster numbers is absolutely insane, bro. And the Cardinals being the perfect fit in this situation, you have Kyler Murray, who's your franchise quarterback, and you have him under contract. You just gave him his bread, his money, and now it's time to start rebuilding that franchise. And you start here with getting him a weapon in Marvin Harrison. And that's right there. And that's
I think that's a no-brainer pick at number 4, man. Number 5, now this pick right here, it all depends on where the Chargers' mindset is. And I think their mindset is in picking up again. This draft is stacked, man. This draft is incredibly stacked. We got Brock Bowers going 5th overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. Georgia superstar tight end, 2-time national championship winner. What more do we got to say about this guy, Brock Bowers, man? The most dominating tight end that we've seen in college these last couple years. 56 touchdowns, 56 receptions, 713 yards, 6 touchdowns, 12 yards per catch, and he was a bit injured this season. But if we're talking about a prospect, 6'4", 240, come on, man. this guy, bro. And the Chargers are in need of a tight end, as Gerald Everett has 1 year remaining on this deal, and he's 30 years old. I don't think the Chargers go with a receiver in the first round like they did last year. They selected Quentin Johnson in the top 10. I think they go Bowers here in a spot where they get their tight end of the future while still having a good receiving core regardless, with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Josh Palmer. I see the Chargers getting Brock Bowers here with the 5th pick. He's NFL ready, and I think he's going to have a great NFL career, being the best tight end in the draft.
Definitely, man. For a guy who's played a crucial part in those 2 natty championships, man, Brock Bowers is nothing short of a monster. And especially like what Ant said about was it Everett being on 1 year left in his contract. Get Brock Bowers in there, have Everett mentor him at the tight end position, and then after that he can ready and go feast, man, into this NFL nature, bro, in this NFL game, bro. There is nothing else, man, that we really need to say about Brock Bowers. This man is a beast. Like we just said, he's 6'4", 200 plus pounds. This man is going to run you over. We've seen it in Georgia. We've seen it in the Natty. He's did it all, man. He can block. He can receive. He can do everything for you, man. This is a good pick for the Chargers right here, and this is why we chose at the number 5.
Man, completely agree, man. New York Giants will select Malik Neighbors from LSU, wide receiver, with the 6th pick in the draft, man. This one, it's to show. The Giants had the worst receiving core in football last year, and it wasn't even close, bro. They're in deep need of a receiver, and I think Malik Neighbors is the 2nd best receiver in this draft. At 6 foot, he led the nation in receiving yards. He led the nation in receptions. 14 touchdowns, 17 yards a catch, bro. If it wasn't for Marvin Harrison, this is the clear-cut number 1 receiver in this draft, and I think he goes to New York and sets a new culture of receiver. Literally the same build as Odell. Coming out. Come on, man. Malik Neighbors is going to shine. I think he goes. I don't think he falls past 6 here. Giants are in a spot to pick him. They do need a lineman also. They could go with Joe Out from Notre Dame, but I think they take their shot on a superstar wide receiver that they know is arguably the best deep threat in the draft. And I think they go with Neighbors here.
Yeah.
He becomes a wide receiver number 1 in New York immediately.
Like Ann said, brother, he got the nice frame like OBJ, man. Why not try to take a chance right here at the number 6 pick? You already have some pretty decent linemen headed into free agency. If you're the Giants, will try your best to at least enhance that O-line, because you did overpay your quarterback, Daniel Jones. And if he's going to be your quarterback for the future, he needs some protection to get that ball out on time, man. And definitely some weapons to help accompany him. Like we said, like as we were talking before this recording, man, another dude that has shown flashes and who I believe should deserve extra reps on this offense is Jalen Hyatt. Y'all drafted him last year, the rookie wide receiver from Tennessee. Showed great flashes of being on the New York Giants, man, and definitely was able to open up the offense more when the ball was in his hands. And definitely with a dude like Malik Neighbors, man, this could do some very, very, very good things for your offense, especially now as we see that Saquon Barkley isn't going to get the franchise tag and he's going to hit free agency. This raises a lot of questions for your offense, and I think that the Giants picking Neighbors here at the 6th pick is going to revamp your offense, man.
100%, man. With the 7th overall pick, we got the Tennessee Titans selecting Joe Out, Notre Dame lineman. I mean, come on, man. Do we got to say more about this guy? 6'8", 315, bro. A freak on the field, bro.
Crazy, bro.
With a Titans team that O-line has just fell off in these last couple of years. I think they're going to start their rebuild with the big men, selecting a generational lineman and Joe Out. They're in need of everything for real. But if they really want to fix that team, they start off with what really matters, and it's that O-line, and it's that getting protection for their quarterback, for Will Levis if they give him another shot.
Yeah.
They could draft the quarterback in the 2nd round, but I think they go lineman here, and Joe Out automatically becomes the best lineman on that team, man. This whole top 10 automatically becomes top 3 players in their position on their respective teams right away, man. That's how talented they are. And I got a guy like Joe Out, in my opinion, the best lineman and a lot of insiders' best lineman in the draft. The first lineman taken off the board at the 7th overall pick. I see him going out to Tennessee.
Definitely, man. As he said before, man, this Tennessee offense is going through one hell of a hell wind, man. They're gonna lose Derrick Henry, man. And as we said, over the last few seasons, their O line has progressively got worse. So why not with this new regime coming in, Will Levis, give him another chance. He did kind of start falling off over the last couple games over last season. Give him one more chance and start bringing some good O linemen into play, man. Try to sign some average receivers when it comes to that sort of thing in free agency. Just try to buff up that offense a little bit more, and definitely that defense as well. But I don't know how, when you come into free agency, that you losing Derrick Henry is going to play a huge part, especially when he's a centerpiece of your offense like that. But definitely going O-line here is the best direction that the Titans can go in, and especially with Joe Alt, who we've seen over multiple mock drafts, PFF, Mel Kipers, and others, that we got Joe Alt going up, being the first O-lineman off the board.
Come on, man. With the 8th pick and the best inside linebacker / DE, we got Dallas Turner from Alabama going to the Atlanta Falcons, man, with the 8th overall pick. This guy was great last year. Had 28 tackles, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 6'4", coming out junior season. I mean, if we're talking about measurements, he got it all. He's NFL ready right now, fellas. And Falcons need to bump up the defense. Their offense is decent. They need to bump up the defense. They got a sneaky corner in AJ Terrell. They got some decent safeties. Now it's getting that D-line, getting them linebackers right. And I think they set the tone early in this draft by going Dallas Turner, an Alabama guy, coached by the best. Coached by Nick Saban in his last year coaching, man. So you know that guy is a motivated motherfucker. I got Dallas Turner going 8th overall pick to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, man, this is a nice turnaround for your mediocre defense when it comes to the Falcons, and especially when you just hired a coach who's very defensive heavy, who's gonna want that buff on the defense ASAP. And you're, like we've already noticed before, the Falcons offense is set. They just need that quarterback, and we've seen a ton of rumors about this. Justin Fields, is he gonna get traded to the Falcons, or are they just gonna try and go money heavy and try to sign Kirk Cousins? This is him entering free agency after that crazy ACL tear with him. And just for something to get started, get this man from Alabama. He's a beast. We was just looking at his combine stuff earlier today. 4.4. This man ran a 4.4, one of the fastest dudes off the edge right now. Nothing less. There's nothing more to speak about that. You got a dude running a 4.4 coming at you.
That boy fast, man. That's different.
That's different type of speed, bro. It's a different type of speed. Wow. At the number 9, we did have a couple discussions about this. Either it was going to be Nate Wiggins at the 9 or Roma Odunze, and we decided that we're going to go with Odunze here, man. You know, Washington wide receiver, man. This man was pretty stellar in that Cinderella run, in that national championship run here, as he put up some good numbers this season, man. 92 receptions, 1,600 yards, and 13 tutties, man. Different man, bro.
You know, he's a little overshadowed in this draft, man. This draft is deep with receivers. This guy would be the first receiver taken in a lot of drafts, fellas. Like my boy just said with them stats, man. 6'3", 215. Perfect receiver build, man. Excellent receiver build. Arguably the second best prospect build-wise besides Malik, besides Marvin Harrison's for 6'4" frame. Rome Odunze, man, led Washington to the national championship and had a great game in the national championship. Should have had a better game, but his quarterback was injured. But the Bears have a chance to pair him with DJ Moore, and they get their pick. And the Bears could have got a better pick than they did here at 9. They could have been in position to pick earlier, but they won too many games to end last year. And they got the first pick because of the Panthers. So they still put themselves in a position to have 2 top 10 picks in a stacked ass draft. And I think they take a superstar in the making in Rome Odunze at the number 9. it's set up right there, bro. I think and I do got him as the ninth best prospect in this draft. And he falls into a perfect situation to be the wide receiver number 2, get single coverage on a Bears team that he's gonna have a superstar quarterback and Caleb Williams getting him the ball and the attention that DJ Moore is gonna possess next year,
bro.
Coming off of 1,300 yards.
And definitely a mentor in DJ Moore as well, bro. That's one of the top receivers in this league, bro. Especially the way that him and Justin Fields had connected last season.
Come on, man. With the 10th pick.
10th
pick, we got Olimawu Fashanu from Penn State, junior old lineman, 6'6", 319. Arguably the second best old lineman prospect in this draft, bro. I think the Jets, this is a no-brainer for them. No-brainer for the Jets. They need to rebuild that old line that got Aaron Rodgers injured in the first possession of the 2023 season. Embarrassing. Olimawu Fashanu goes into the Jets being literally the best lineman they got first year. I think he goes in there, protects Aaron Rodgers, and helps the Jets have a better season. This is a no-brainer pick right here. Another junior, bro. This draft got superstar juniors. These guys are still young guys coming out, and I think the Jets bump up their O-line here and make a great pick at 10 with Olimawu Fashanu, my second best overall O-lineman.
Definitely, bro. Definitely take the second best O-lineman that's up on the board right now. You got your O-line last year was absolutely atrocious. Not even just for that speaking, your offense was as well when you have your quarterback Zach Wilson, who had to come in and back up Aaron Rodgers after that Achilles tear. And for the O-line to not even give the man a break or literally just help the pace of their offense, it wasn't helping at all. So it makes sense for them to start revamping that O-line and start to get the offense in a nice flowing state, man.
100%, man.
For the 11th and 12th picks, man, these can be flip-flopped either ways. We was having debates about this earlier off camera, but right now what we decided to stick with at number 11 for the Minnesota Vikings, we got Oregon State's quarterback Bo Nix going to the Minnesota Vikings, man. The man got arm talent, 4,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions to that season. This man went freaking insane, dude. This man, bro, this man throws the ball like there's no tomorrow, man. The correct reads, the absolute arm talent. I've seen many comparisons to Justin Herbert in this any case, bro. I don't know what it is when it comes to Oregon quarterbacks and the arm talent that they have, but damn, they can throw that ball, man.
Man, you know, Bo Nix, talk about raising your draft stock in this 2023 season, bro. And that's exactly what Bo Nix did. Like my brother said, 45 touchdown, 3 interception, the best touchdown interception ratio of any quarterback in the 2023 season. The second best QBR in the entire nation. Led the Ducks to a conference championship appearance. We got Bo Nix here, man. A superstar coming out of high school, had to develop himself, 6'2", 217. I think he goes to the Vikings here because Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent, could go anywhere that he wants. Whoever's going to give him the most money, I think the Vikings take I would say he's probably the 4th most NFL ready quarterback beside, and then McCarthy 5th. It really could be McCarthy also, but I think the Vikings go Nix because of arm talent, what he showcased in college. He threw the ball way more than McCarthy did in college. So we're going to go Bo Nix here at 11 to Minnesota. Becomes a top 15 pick. Before the season, he was ready to have the second rounder. Rose his draft stock up. Now he's in position to be the 11th player taken in the draft, and we think he goes 11 to Minnesota. Now 12, we got J.J. McCarthy going to Denver, bro. Denver is done. They're 100% going to let go of Russell Wilson. They're going to trade him. They get a guy in J.J. McCarthy, the national champion of the 2023 season with the Michigan Wolverines. He didn't have to do too much in his junior season. He's still a special thrower of the football. He only had 22 touchdowns, 4 picks, but he did have the 3rd best QBR in the nation, which is real good to me. That's a real good stat. He didn't make many mistakes. 6'3", 202. He got an NFL-ready build already, man. A 5-star coming out of high school, and he showed this year that he can make the throws. Now, his college playbook did not do him enough justice. He's going to have to throw the ball way more in the NFL to be successful. But I think the Broncos take a chance on him at 12 after what he did in big games last year, winning a national championship for Michigan.
Definitely, man. When you look at a dude like J.J. McCarthy and the run first offense that they was running at Michigan, there wasn't really anything that he could do, more just play his role, and that's what led him to being a national champion. And just like Ann said, the QBR plays a big role in what you're doing as the quarterback. Are you making the right reads? Are you making the right decisions? And yes, he was. This is a third-ranked QBR quarterback in college football for a reason. He was making all the correct reads, making all the right passes that were needed to be made, and showed up big time when there was downs that need to be converted in big-time games. For this Broncos team, this is a very similar system. They have the run game going for them. They have the receivers that are going for them. There's a little drama going on with Jerry Jeudy, but we'll see where that goes. And a lot of turmoil, like we said with Russell Wilson. He's definitely going out. He didn't want to take that clause for the injury clause, man. And I think that he's going to be out with that. And definitely, I would be out myself if the head coach is disrespecting me like that on a daily basis. I wouldn't even want to be dealing with that as an NFL player. 100%. So J.J. McCarthy definitely will be stepping into the right organization and get his feet right and set ready, man, for the NFL.
100%. At 13, we have Jared Versey from Florida State, the second best defensive prospect in this draft at the DE position. Had a great junior season for Florida State, 9 sacks, 23 total tackles, 6'4", 260, man. Come on, he's built just like Dallas Turner. It was really a discussion between him or Dallas Turner going 8 to the Atlanta Falcons, but I think Jared Versey slips here to the 13th pick in the Raiders. That got to bump up that defense that got killed last year, man. That Raiders defense was getting killed, and he goes into the position where he can start right away on a weak Raiders D-line that at the end of the day needs a culture change. This is a guy that came from a winning program in college, had a great season, had a great junior season at Florida State. I think he goes 13 here and becomes a big impact to the Raiders D-line right away.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. As we've seen, bro, shout out to that man Antonio Pierce, who's been trying to change the Raiders' way, man, for that last season after coming the intern head coach and now being promoted to the actual head coach of the organization. Now we see that with Jerry Verse here would be a nice solid pick, a nice alongside buddy for Max Crosby to go and dominate that D-line, get to the quarterback quicker. And we've seen the development of their defense as it was absolutely atrocious in the beginning of the season and slowly started to propel upwards. And you can see the trajectory that they're trying to go to into this next season. And now with him coming from Florida State, had an incredible undefeated season. Sadly, got snubbed out from the college football playoffs, that whole dilemma, and now that school is suing the NCAA for that reason. Can he bring that winning culture and winning aspect to the Raiders' way? And I do believe that he can. This man, like Ann said, a top 2 edge defender in this class, definitely gonna come in here in the Raiders' way. He gonna shine.
100%. 14th pick to the Saints, we have Talise Fuaga, Oregon State O-lineman, a top 5 lineman prospect in this draft. 6'6", 334 junior, going to a Saints team that's badly in need of an O-line after a bad offensive season in 2023, man. He goes into a position again, start right away, a great prospect. Any lineman over 6'5", 230, any lineman over 6'5", over 300 pounds is just a hell of a prospect, man. A different type of prospect. And he was excellent in 2023, and it has put himself in a position to be a top 15 pick in the draft. And I think going 14 on New Orleans.
Yeah, man. Not much really to be said about Fuaga, man. Oregon State O-line, one of the third top best O-lineman in this draft class for a team that's very heavily needing of an O-line. Literally had no O-line last season. It was hard for them to start getting offense going, especially with Derek Carr, him being his first season here on the Saints, and how rough that was for that offense to get started up. As we went through in our predictions too, we were always complaining, man, why the Saints ain't putting up enough points with this team that they have. And we've seen it here through the stats, and through the PFF grades, this team held one of the most horrific O lines in the league, and now trying to go somewhere with that, and definitely selecting Fuaga with this 14th pick, gonna shed some light on that.
15th pick, we got the first corner taken, Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, whose draft stock has risen crazy after his Senior Bowl performance. Was the best corner at the Senior Bowl. Was the best. Wait, see, yeah, he played at the wide receiver, but 6 foot 196. He is a superstar corner, man. Superstar corner is gonna do what he do. 4.3, ran a 4.33 today. The only reason we have him going over Nate Wiggins is because Nate Wiggins pulled his groin today, running that 4.29. This guy's just as good at a 4.33. Going to a Colts team that got bullied in the secondary last year, and I think he goes there and starts right away. Matches up with some decent corners, but nothing crazy. I think he goes in there and starts right away. This whole draft, man, this whole first round draft is just a bunch of starter guys, man. It's just a bunch of impact makers.
Definitely, bro. With the addition of Mitchell, man, that secondary just gets better. You know, you had a former All-Pro in Kenny Moore not too long ago, and after the departure of Leonard, man, that defense has looked mediocre, especially with the Colts organization itself. It's been kind of like in that mid-tier of, are we really playoff contender or we're just regular season cuties, you know, like we're just there to try to have a fight. And they was almost in the playoffs, you know, barely lost to the Texans, man. Shout out to that brother CJ Stroud, you know, one crazy rookie season. But this is something that you got to assess right away, man. Y'all were able to franchise tag Michael Pittman, and now y'all in conversations to even get him an extension in that sense. Now this is your time to go and splurge on the defensive side of this ball and try to upgrade that secondary and try to get better in that linebacking core as well.
Preach, man, preach. With the 16th pick, we have the Seattle Seahawks drafting Latu from UCLA, the best, or arguably a top 5 edge player in this draft. 6'5", 265, 28 total tackles, 13 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions as a D lineman. Going into a spot on the Seahawks defense, which has really fallen off over the last couple of years, puts himself in a position to be an impact player at that defensive line position. Superstar, senior from UCLA, their best rusher they've had in a minute. I think he goes into the NFL, and he's NFL ready right now, man. Latu, 16th overall pick to Seattle, goes in there, makes an immediate impact for that weak Seahawks D-line.
Definitely 16 pick, man. Latu is gonna go crazy for the go crazy for the Seahawks, man. This is a defense who has lost its identity over the last couple of seasons. Their offense has worked pretty good, pretty average at best, but it's that defense that's been hurting them and is breaking the camel's back, man. And definitely with a dude like this, top 5 edge prospect coming into this draft, definitely gonna help reinforce that defense. You got a lot of dudes coming back, you know, Jamal Adams, an injury-prone man, safety. Devon Witherspoon, who showed incredible promise last year as a rookie. Definitely one dude who's going to be keeping there. And could this be another formation of a Legion of Boom, man? You just got to find out over time, but I definitely think that the Seahawks making this pick right here is the right choice at 16.
100%, man. 100%.
At the 17th pick, man, Jaguars, after we got y'all whole assessment, man, I think they're going to go with an O-lineman here, and J.C. Latham here, coming from Alabama, is going to do them justice here. This is a team who took a massive second half of the season fall off. This team was literally first in the AFC South at one point, and they literally went on to lose almost all their games for the second half of the season, missing out playoffs. It's absolutely
reason
crazy.
Being because of that weak ass old line they had, man. They go J.C. Latham, another star lineman, guys. 6'6", 360, junior. Come on, bro. Bama linemen are just different gravy in the league. I see this guy not getting out the game ever for the Jaguars, and he's gonna be a top 3 lineman already. Even in that division, he's going to be one of the best linemen already. Jaguars is a no-brainer pick at the 17th. What the 18th pick? We got Troy Franklin with being the fourth receiver taken off the board. Superstar season. This guy had a superstar season, with the combination of Bo Nix. Junior season. He has the potential to be a great receiver in the league.
Hey, man, a great wide receiver 3, man.
He had 81 receptions, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 17 yards a carry, not 17 yards a catch. Putting himself in the position to be the slot receiver of this Bengals team. They're letting go of Boyd. They franchise Higgins. They still got Jamar Chase. He got a chance to get one-on-one coverage every damn play at the slot position. I think he puts himself in a spot to be drafted 18th here by the Bengals. And this pick was inspired by Lou, so we'll give his assessment of this.
Hey, man, like Ant said before, these are dudes who they're letting go of in this offseason. Tyler Boyd, man. We thought T. Higgins was about to go leave in free agency, but the Bengals are gonna try. The Bengals have franchise tagged him. They're gonna look for a nice extension there. So now we need some more depth. The Bengals need some more depth at that wide receiver position, especially letting go of Boyd, man. And I think Troy Franklin here is the right pick to go with. Yes, they can get more O-linemen, but I do think that they'll focus on O-linemen in free agency. Get some nice, solid veterans there to help at least buff up that O-line a little bit, to help take away from Joe Burrow's beatings. But Troy Franklin here has the chance to line up in that slot and go one-on-one against linebackers and slot corners and be able to get open every time and shine as a nice young rookie, man.
100%. With the 19th pick, we got the Rams selecting Cooper DeJean, Iowa cornerback. We know about that Iowa defense, man. They produce studs yearly, and they got their stud, a white cornerback being the second cornerback drafted. I mean, he's the best cornerback prospect, but dealing with some injury news right now. So we got Quinyon going first, but he's definitely the second best besides Nate Higgins. And Nate Higgins is another guy that got some injuries. So it's like the corners got some injuries right now. So it's like it's painting them to be less marketable, less valuable to these teams. But I do think DeJean goes 19th to the Rams, which he could play safety or corner, two positions that they badly need. Because they got dusted up in the playoffs. They got dotted up in the playoffs, man. Amon-Ra, they could not guard Amon-Ra. They could not guard the Lions at all. And DeJean helps them be able to do that. A physical corner, a guy that could go in and play safety. This kid is a stud. It's at 6'1". He didn't get a lot of intos last year because they didn't throw the ball at him too much. They knew better. I think he's going to be a good prospect in the NFL. He's going to be a good player in the league, man.
Bro, especially for having a white corner in the NFL draft. When was the last time we had a white corner in the NFL?
Going first round?
Going first round is crazy too, bro. But definitely Cooper DeJean is the right pick to go here with the Rams, bro. Definitely desperately needing that secondary help as well, bro. Their D-line is going to stay solid. You got the best D-lineman arguably in the league and Aaron Donald to set up your team for success on the defensive side of the ball. And Cooper DeJean can bring that nice cover blanket here when it comes to coverage. And I think that the 19th pick, he's going to LA.
100%. The 20th pick, we got the
Steelers, man.
Steelers improving the center position and selecting Jackson Powers Johnson, 6'3", 320. The best center in college football in the 2023 season. He goes into a spot to start right away and become an impact player for the Steelers, whose O-line again has fallen off over these last couple years. A 3-year starter at Oregon. He's one of them ones. And in a stacked ass lineman draft, he sets himself apart at the center position.
Definitely, man. Especially for an O-line that's been pretty shaky the last couple of seasons, and their offensive game plan has not been working at all. You've seen Steelers fans be angry, the whole fire Matt Canada aspect, and even after that, their offense still started to pick up the pieces and started to get back on a roll. As you've seen, George Pickens finally had his first 1,000-yard season. as the promise we've seen from that man, Georgia, former Georgia alumni, wide receiver, man, natty champion. That man, George Pickens, there ain't no much to say about that man. That man a beast. But to add extra boost to this O lineman and to see what they're gonna do at the quarterback position, they're gonna give Kenny Pickett another chance. We'll see. Only time will tell when it comes to this offseason. But definitely, this is the right direction to start in.
100%. Another lineman will go with the 21st pick in the draft to the Dolphins, Troy Fautanu Jr., 6'4", 317, on the national championship playing the Washington team. I mean, this guy was just dominant last year, bro. Very dominant, and he got a chance to go to a good Dolphins team who just got to bump up their line a bit. You know, they got exposed against the Chiefs in the playoffs. That Chiefs D-line bullied them bad, and they definitely need a star lineman to go and bump up that line. And this is such a stacked lineman draft, fellas. We were ready. This would be the 1, 2, 3, the fourth lineman taken already in this draft, and it's warranted because these linemen are special and they are impact players, all superstars in college. And I think the Dolphins get a stud here at 21 and a great pick in Troy Fautanu from Washington Jr., ready to take over.
Definitely had a stellar season, man. And why not, bro? Another top five O lineman pick here for a prospect. And the Dolphins definitely needing that buff when they got dudes leaving for free agency in the O-line position. This is definitely going to help revamp that O-line again. And it starts right here with the Dolphins pick at 21.
100%. The Eagles will select Teron Arnold with the third cornerback taken in this draft, but arguably the best cornerback in this draft, man. It's tough to call. But Teron Arnold from Alabama did not allow a touchdown in the 2023 season, and the Eagles allowed a lot of touchdowns to receivers in the 2023 season, man. Them Eagles corners were fooled weekly, and it showed in the playoffs how the Buccaneers random receivers were scoring 60-yard touchdowns on them. Teron Arnold, a focused, a solid corner, does not make many mistakes, coming from a winning culture in Alabama. I think, and the Eagles got a whole lot of Alabama players. You know, they got a whole lot of Georgia players, and they put themselves in a position to get one of the best corners in this draft, a warranted corner, 6 foot 196, fast, 5 intros last year. They were trying him, but he was making them pay, and he didn't allow a touchdown. I think this guy arguably could go sooner in this draft, might just go sooner in this draft, but we got him falling to the Eagles at 22.
Definitely. I think despite all the questions about him, bro, this is one of the best top corner prospects in this draft. And it's definitely a perfect pick right here, in my opinion, for him to slide to the Eagles at 22. Desperately needing that secondary help. They literally just cut Kevin Byard here earlier today, I think. Who was it yesterday? I'm not pretty sure, but they did release him. So definitely getting that fresh start here, and with a new DC coming into play here, this is definitely the right direction you want to go into if you're an Eagles fan. Definitely something that helped out that secondary that was absolutely getting torched that second half of that season and started the fall off for that team.
100%. At the 23rd pick, we got the Texans selecting Brian Murphy from Texas, D tackle. Come on, man. One of the best, arguably the best D tackle in this draft. And I think he's the first D tackle taken in this draft. Top 5 D lineman. But this guy, you know, had a stellar junior season. 13 tackles, 5 sacks. And in a spot where he was double teamed a lot in Texas. But he's going to get one-on-one lineman work in the NFL on the Texans defense that, you know, was decent last year, but they could definitely be improved. And he goes into the position to be a next great D tackle for the Texans. Gets to stay home. He was a Texas star. Gets to stay home. I think this is a perfect pick here for the Texans to bump up that defense and put themselves in a position to, you know, even have a better season than they did that last 2022.
Definitely, man. Byron Murphy The second, staying in Texas, man, this is a beautiful pick for both parties. This man went solid. Nice solid season for him on Texas. And this also plays a part in the Texans organization. Your defense is pretty solid when it comes to that secondary spot, but when it comes to that D tackle position, you guys do still need some work there. And I do think that Byron Murphy here is a great, excellent pick for the Texans here. And like we've been saying all earlier, this is going to be a nice, solid pick to help revamp that D line.
Facts. With the 24th pick, my Dallas Cowboys will select Amorius Mims, Georgia lineman, man. I'm praying we get this kid, bro. A slept on junior, 6'7", 340, Georgia monster. Praying he falls to 24 so we can pick him. He could be a replacement for our aging linemen and our linemen that probably not, some of them won't be here next year. So this is a great spot for him to become a starter, man. We drafted Tyler Smith a couple seasons ago, and he's paid off. Became a Pro Bowler this year. Hoping for the same trajectory for Mims, a superstar for Georgia. Hopefully he falls to 24, man, and we got the Cowboys selected.
Definitely, bro. A dude who's won multiple natties here, man, and in the University of Georgia. So it only makes the most sense for him to go to the Cowboys here, a team who's very going to be necessity and desperate for an old lineman here when you got dudes like Tyron Smith leaving for free agency. And this opens up many questions for your O-line. So definitely the right pick to go here. Get an O-lineman. Your offense is already set. Your QB is already set. You gave that man his money. Your defense is already set. You have dudes who are coming back from injury that are really going to help reinforce that defense. So why not get that O-line position taken care of?
And at the 25th pick, we got the Packers selecting Tyler Nubin, the first pure safety picked. That is the prediction, a top 5 DB in this draft. 6'2", 210, 34 solo tackles, 5 intos, 4 passes defense, and 1 forced fumble. One of the best safeties we've seen in these last couple of years, man. A great safety prospect. Goes into position to bump up Packers secondary that was decent, but definitely could have some improvements in the secondary. And we got them selecting a safety here to become an immediate starter.
Definitely, bro. Tyler Nubin is definitely the right pick here. 6'2", 210. This is a good frame for your good frame. Nice, solid build for the safety, man. And especially the stats that he put up for his last collegiate season before declaring for the draft tells you all that you got to know that you're getting from this dude. Dude's a lockdown safety. He's going to make the plays that are going to be needed in order for you to win. And for the Packers, desperately needing that secondary help. You have Jair Alexander, one of your superstar corners, and another nice young group of guys in that secondary. It only makes more sense to help and take care of that safety position, man. That desperately needs help.
Preach. At 26, we got the Buccaneers selecting the receiver of the future, wide receiver number 2 from LSU, Brian Thomas Jr., man. Arguably a top 3 prospect in this draft, man. We got him falling 26 just because of the other talent, but this guy's 6'4", 205, man. Junior, 68 receptions, 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, led the nation in touchdown catches there, fellas. It's going to be a deep threat target for Baker Mayfield. 17 yards a catch. Come on now. A perfect picks for the Bucks with their aging receiving core. Mike Evans getting old, Chris Godwin getting old. This kid is going to be the future of the Tampa Bay Bucks. I do think they go a receiver in the first round to help out Baker Mayfield, and I think they get it done.
Definitely, bro. For a wide receiver spot that's aging and needing more depth, you got Mike Evans, who's getting up there in age, man. Shout out to that, bro. 10 consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards. Chris Godwin, another solid wide receiver too, who's also getting up there in age. Only makes more sense to add more depth at the wide receiver position. Get younger, go for a top 3 wide receiver prospect, one of the top wide receiver prospects in this class, and Brian Thomas Jr. Give Baker Mayfield, who we all believe and we know that is probably going to re-sign with the Bucks, on a massive deal and probably reset the QB market again. Give that man more weapons and give that man more talent.
Easy. With the 27th pick, we got the Arizona Cardinals making another great pick and getting Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Went a 4.29 today. Arguably the best corner prospect in the draft. We do got him falling to 27. Probably going to get picked earlier, though. But this is a perfect pick for the Cardinals, a team that struggled in the secondary. That shit, they struggled in everything last year, man. There's nothing they could really not improve in this draft for real. And I got them taking Nate Wiggins here, a solid corner, the fastest corner in the nation. He proved it today, but he pulled his groin, so there could be some injury concerns there. However, bro, this kid played at Clemson. Clemson has a knack for producing NFL talent, NFL corners. You know, we see what they do. Only had 2 intos, but it's because they did not throw him the ball. They did not throw the ball his way. At 6'2", 185, a Georgia native. We know how them Georgia football players go, man. 6 passes defense, 22 solo tackles. Nate Wiggins is NFL ready, and we see him in Arizona.
Definitely, bro. Running at 4.2, bro. That's blazing speed, bro. That's like John Ross speed, bro. That's CJ2K speed, bro. But at the corner position, definitely gonna need that speed for trying to keep up for receivers, especially the receivers at a caliber in this league, man. Y'all got Tyreek Hills, y'all got Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalfs, Devontae Adams, and so many more other receivers. And that speed plays a role. And definitely the perfect pick right here going to the Cardinals. Definitely, we do believe that he's probably going to go somewhere in that top 10 range, but I just think that he's going to slide down just because of that groin and see where that's going to take him. But definitely a good pick for the Cardinals here. Try to revamp that defense that was so mediocre last year, so ass, because they're literally one of the top worst teams in the NFL last season.
100%. Keon Coleman with the 28th pick in the draft, going to Buffalo. Florida State junior, wide receiver, man. Had a breakout junior season, 50 receptions, 650 yards, 11 touchdowns, 13.2 yards of reception. A 6'4", 215, man. Top 5 to 6 receiver prospect. Could end up being one of the better receivers in this draft. Got him going to the Bills here. There's rumors they might not keep Gabe Davis. They might not keep Stephon Diggs. He goes in this position to be a starter in Buffalo with a top 3 quarterback in the league in Josh Allen. Good spot for Buffalo at the 28th pick.
This is definitely another solid pick, man. Buffalo Bills, who are definitely going to need that wide receiver depth. They're going to probably end up losing Gabe Davis to free agency if he does end up finding another home in the NFL. Keon Coleman, definitely another solid wide receiver here in this draft class. Did it all last season, and his name has been coming up here and there in this draft. And to see him slip to the Bills in our mock draft would be the perfect fit for the Bills and him.
Oh, man. 29th pick. We got the Detroit Lions selecting Ennis Rackstraw from Missouri. Has been one of the best corners in the last 2 years of college football. Teams don't throw this guy's way, man. Only 4 passes defense, 24 solo tackles, 0 intos. It's because he doesn't get tried, man. And he really played great for a Missouri defense that improved and made their program respectable in these last 2 years. I think he goes in and becomes a media starter and complements Brian Branch in there and puts Detroit in a position to really improve that secondary that again got exposed against the 49ers in the NFC Championship in the second half. They could not guard a soul. They could not stop a soul. So they got a guy like Ennis Rackstraw, a respected corner, a NFL ready corner, 6 foot, 188, a Dallas, Texas monster. Come on, man.
Definitely, bro. Like we said, another top corner in this draft. Definitely going to help bring some more attention to that Lions secondary. This was an average defense at best coming into last season, and definitely that NFC Championship game is where you needed your corners the most in that series, in that game specifically. Y'all gave up that 21-point comeback to the 49ers, and eventually led them to go on to the Super Bowl. But this is where you need to build your depth in the secondary, and it all starts here with Ennis Rakestraw Jr., bro, from Missouri. Definitely gonna help build that secondary. That D line is good at development. Like Ant said, they have Branch in the secondary, a nice strong rookie man who showed very, very good promise last year. It's only right that y'all go a corner again in this year's draft.
Oh, man. We got the 30th pick in the draft. We got the Baltimore Ravens drafting Graham Barton Sr. from Duke, the best Duke lineman we've seen in these last couple of years. 6'5", 314, NFL ready senior, grown ass man, going into a Baltimore O-line that kind of got bullied against the Chiefs, man. A O-line that got bullied against the Chiefs. We're not able to run the ball how they wanted to. We're not able to throw the ball how they wanted to. So the Ravens don't got a lot to improve on the team, but if there's one thing they could improve, it's that line. And they get a spot to get a good ass lineman at the end of the first round. And I think Graham Barton falls to 30, and the Ravens beef up the O-line to try to go, make another Super Bowl run.
Definitely, man. This will be a nice solid pick for the Ravens here. Like we said, bro, there's not really much for the Ravens to improve here at this pick at 30, hence why they got the 30th pick here. Also, their magnificent run that they had, but sadly lost to the Chiefs. This is a pick that they can use here on another solid O-lineman that they can use to develop. Definitely don't see this guy as a starter in his first year, more of like a backup. Definitely going to get mentored by the starters here, but this is a good pace to set this young O-lineman up for success in the league.
100%. With the 31st pick, we have the Kansas City Chiefs drafting Adonai Mitchell from Texas, junior wide receiver, 6'4", a slept-on receiver in this draft. Is gonna fall to the last two picks of this first round just because of the better players. But this guy, if we're talking about prospect-wise, he got it, man. A national championship at Georgia, transferred to Texas for his junior season, and he had a great season. 55 receptions, 845 yards, 11 touchdowns, 15 yards per catch. NFL ready for a Chiefs team that just let go of Marcus Valdes-Scantling. Already had one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL. They still won the Super Bowl. I see them bumping it up, beefing it up, getting a young star receiver in Adonai Mitchell to pair with Rashee Rice. This is a no-brainer here for Kansas City to get a steal at the end of the first round.
Definitely no-brainer here. This is where you lack depth the most when it comes to your entire sense of your roster. You just cut MVS, one of the most prominent people in that roster who played a part in y'all winning the Super Bowl, had a wide open TD catch that made y'all cut the lead into that game. And now, since y'all cut him, your leading receiver really is only Rashee Rice, who was a rookie last season, who very much props to that man. Literally stepped up when it mattered the most when it came in this playoffs. Now, when you got Adonai Mitchell, Texas wide receiver, sitting right there at 31, it only makes sense to make sure that you get that depth in that position.
100%. Agree. With the last pick of the first round, 2024 mock draft, we have Chop Robinson going to the San Francisco 49ers. A kid that was having a decent season, 4 sacks, 12 tackles. Only ended up playing in 7 games in the 2023 season. But this guy, a prospect, 6'3", 250, one of the better defensive ends in the nation, is gonna be a guy that could fall to the second round. But the Niners do need some more depth defensively with that D line, which is getting a bit older. At the end of the day, this kid, Chop Robinson, did have a good sophomore year. Underwhelming junior year, but still puts himself in a position to be a top prospect and go with the last pick of the first round. We got Chop Robinson.
Definitely last pick of the first round, Chop Robinson gonna help fortify that D line of the 49ers, man. This team just lost the Super Bowl. You made it all the way to the big game and lost. There's big questions now when it comes to the defense. Can you guys really maintain that defense when you got a massive amount of dudes under contract issues and your salary cap comes into notice with that? So there's definitely going to be some changes when it comes to roster-wise, and this is why I see them taking Chop Robertson at the 32nd pick to end off that first round. And definitely what we seen earlier from him in the combine, another 4.4. You can't be running like this at the edge position, bro. Running at a 4.4 at the edge
Should
is
just bumped him up
it
from a
just
second
goes
rounder
up.
to a late first, man. He's gonna go anywhere in the late first. Come on, man. It's been real, fellas. Another video,
banger, man.
the
Another
first
banger.
NFL video of the 2024 year, man. The 2024 year, officially talking 2024 business. This is our first round NFL mock draft 2024. This video is sponsored by Sleeper.
man.
Use promo code Jermaine Sports on Sleeper for lifetime Discord access, daily plays, data. We do what we do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully this mock draft goes to plan. But this was our analyzation. Hope we informed y'all. Hope we gave y'all some mindset on who's gonna get drafted where. Appreciate y'all, boys.
Make sure y'all leave in the comments below who you got
Who
going
you think?
where,
Give
man.
us your picks, man. Give us who you think.
Let us
going.
know, man.
Come on, appreciate y'all, boys. It's been that Tuff Podcast NFL Mock Draft 2024 edition. See y'all, boys, man.
Stay fresh and stay blessed.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
God bless y'all.